Hello, my name is Gabriel, and I'm going to be talking to you today about electric cars. And we're going to be discussing about why it might or might not be a good idea to get one. I feel like this is a very important subject in this day and age because, also global warming is a very controversial but still an important topic that needs to be brought up and talked about. We're going to be starting off with the origins, that being that the first idea of an electric car was brought up around the 19th century, between 1832 and 1839 to be more exact. This idea was created by a Scottish man called Robert Anderson, but due to the lack of technological advances of that day, this idea fell onto the hands of Thomas Davenport, because at this time, during his lifespan, lead acid batteries and commutators have been invented and produced, and this was around 1871, so like a couple more decades after the idea was brought up. We're going to be starting off with the not so good things, those being the cons. And first, we're going to be discussing about the emission. Since electric cars are still a thing that needs to be built, and we still haven't found a way to mine and refine ways in an eco-friendly way. Well, we're still using things like fossil fuels and gases in order to power up the machines that makes the certain parts or materials, uh, refined materials like steel. More so, the emission costs caused by the manufacturing of regular cars as opposed to electric cars is less so. So for an electric car, you're going to be creating around 7 to 10 tons of carbon emissions, as opposed to the 16 to 19 tons of carbon emissions that you're going to be causing by manufacturing an electric car. Last but not least, when it comes to the cons, the autonomy is much lower for an electric car as opposed to regular cars, because they run on electricity. And well, since there might be the chance that you might be stuck in the middle of nowhere if you have something like a Tesla or any other electric car, you're probably going to need to have a charging port, and those charging ports don't come off cheap. So there's also some infrastructure costs that need to be taken into consideration. To go to greener pastures and talk about the pros. First of all, there's less maintenance costs. Um, for example, you've probably had the case that you had to go with your car and do an oil change or change certain parts. And when it comes to making an oil change, that is not the case with the electric cars. More so, in the making of an electric car, there are less parts that need to be put into it to make it a fully functioning vehicle. So that might help you when it comes to deciding what is the better alternative. Next, there would be the fact that during the use of an electric cars don't cause any sort of emissions because, well, they're electric, but a regular car creates around 4.6 metric tons of carbon emissions. So the more you drive, the more you're going to pollute when it comes to a regular vehicle. Going further, when it comes to the pros of electric cars, first of all, we have less maintenance. So you can think, for example, about not needing any sort of oil change. So you're not going to have to go to a mechanic and also have him tell you that you need to change like a bajillion parts, because electric cars require less parts as opposed to a regular vehicle. Going further, there's also no emissions because they run on electricity, as opposed to the 4.6 metric tons of carbon fuel that is being used yearly. For all of the car guys, this point might be quite interesting and important. Electric cars, since they run mainly with AI in mind, because they're calculating everything when it comes to the amount of fuel that needs to be used or the amount of power that needs to be used. They have better maneuverability, better torque, and even more so less noise. So this might be a good or a bad thing depending on your taste. You might like the loud rumbling of an old Mustang, but some people might not. Also, since they run basically only on electricity, that is a very good thing because you can basically get a battery and charge it at a solar panel, which you can install on your house or near your apartment or anywhere that it fits. So in the same way that you carry with you an external battery to charge your phone, you can do so the same with your car. Last but not least, when we're talking about the comparison between the fuels which are necessary to fuel an electric car or an electric car, electric cars use electricity, which is a very important resource which you cannot meddle with that easily as opposed to fuel, because fuel is a very finite resource. So you can rise the price of fuel more easier and without as much hassle as opposed to electricity. So those were the main points, the main pros and cons of it. We would like to take this opportunity to ask you, what would your preferred choice be? Either an electric car or a regular gas-powered car.
Hello, in today's podcast we'll discuss the topic eco-democracy and certain themes connected to this topic. For instance, fast fashion and how this problem is in big city in comparison to smaller cities.
Oh, I heard that in big city you have a lot of projects. In my small city in Poland, people really don't care about ecological stuff. Apparently in big city isn't like that.
Yeah, it isn't, because I think that the bigger the city is, there are more organizations to keep accountable the government about the problems in the city. So yeah, the problem in the big cities is a little bit less because there are more organizations to just organize stuff in order to help the city to be more sustainable.
Oh, that's cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicola, I'm from Sassari, and here we have Denis from Romania.
Today we are going to talk about what could you do as a teenager in order to help your environment and to be more eco-friendly.
Okay, me for example, when I was 17 years, I used to participate in a green association in my city, and we used to clean open spaces, green spaces, and I think it was funny, and at the same time it was useful for our community.
Cool, I did something similar in my town too. I participated to clean a forest with an ONG. We organized a charity race and we cleaned it before they start.
Oh, it's so nice. I think it's incredible that people as teenagers like us can take part of the work of the community and be like voluntary and try to make better.
Another way to be more sustainable as just average teenagers is to not use fast fashion products. And just to clarify it for the audience, fast fashion is all Zara, H&M, and so on and so forth. These huge companies which produce thousands of tons of fabrics yearly. And some statistics, some not so fun fact is the fact that less than 1% of this fabric gets recycled. And yeah, you can imagine what amount doesn't get recycled. And what we can do is basically use some second-hand clothes or buy clothes for which we know were used less materials.
Yeah, as an example, I saw in Zara on the label is written they use less water, and in that way, you can pollute less.
Exactly, and H&M as well has created a new system to recycle even more clothes, like around 50%, if I know right, which is amazing. And if it does really happen, it would be amazing.
Hello everyone, my name is Noemi. I'm from Hungary. You already met with Elena. Today we are going to talk about the attitude of people from different countries and nationalities. Do you think that there's a difference between the attitude of people from all around the world?
Yeah, to be honest, I think that there was a difference back in the days because nowadays we more or less share pretty much the same mentality, this new generation that comes up, Gen Z. And I think that we all share the opinion that this is probably one of the greatest problems of our society nowadays. And we need to find ways in our day-to-day life to find ways to be more sustainable, like on a personal level and then on a local level, on a global level. And I think that this national mentality is not so different nowadays. I think that we share the same opinion on this problem, and it's amazing to hear so many people here on this project that share this same opinion, that we need to find ways to be greener.
Yes, you're totally right. Probably there's a generational difference and not a national difference, because I think that Italy people aren't really cautious about this topic. They don't try to find products that were made in more eco-friendly ways. They are only just shopping their regular stuff. But I think that people from Gen Z are more conscious about it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Turns out there's no national difference. Leave your comments and share your opinion with us.
Yeah. Bye.
How much a human can impact in the world? Someone has coined a neologism answering at this question. That's anthropocentrism. Basically, the human age in which the human is the main character and also the antagonist who negatively impact on the planet's climate and ecosystems. It's really interesting to highlight how we, as animals, but differently from the others, are breaking the ecological balance. And as Mahatma Gandhi said, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed.
And now a little bit more about the role of the people in this situation. Like, humans are very successful species, and for most of human history, ecosystems were able to sustain or bear the weight of our population. But right now, we impact the environment in many ways, like overpopulation, pollution, burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and actually since the Industrial Revolution, the greenhouse gases concentrations in the air have increased like twice as much. And changes like this have triggered climate change, soil erosion, poor air quality, and undrinkable water. And these negative impacts can affect human behavior and can prompt mass migrations. The main problem with people is that as we grow as a population, we need more natural resources, and therefore we also produce more waste. And today we often remove resources faster than the ecosystem actually can replace them. So today we often put waste into ecosystem faster than the natural cycles can deal with them.
And the difference between generations is also a great problem, and it influences the knowledge on climate change. And also the effects on of social media is great, because like the older older generations doesn't use Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. They just maybe watch TV and read newspapers, so they don't have that kind of knowledge that we have.
We all know that the environment issue needs instantly solution. The problem is that the solution which we apply are not enough. It's too less just to speak about environment, to speak about how to love nature, to speak about reusable cups, bottles, batteries, how to don't spend so much water and energy. First of all, we must to understand the nature, we must to feel the nature, we must to be a part of our nature. It's a big problem that children don't learn from the beginning a lot of things about the environmental issues. They should learn in the school a lot of things about the nature, about how nature can help them and how they can help the nature. Loving the nature, in fact, we loving ourselves.
My name is Roland, I'm 17 years old and I'm from Hungary.
Hi, my name is Nicholas, I'm 17 years old and I'm from Romania. And today's topic will be about Erasmus+.
Nicholas,
yes.
What is Erasmus+?
Erasmus+ is the new program that combines all the current programs from EU that is dedicated for education, training, youth and sport, which was launched in January 2014. So, Roland, what's your opinion about Erasmus+?
I think Erasmus+ is a really good exchange because you learn something new. For example, you learn English or the new language as well. You learn a new culture and you make a new friendship and friends, and that's all. Nicholas,
yes.
Why are you being in the youth exchange?
Yes, I'm in the youth exchange because I think it's a good idea for seeing new people, learning new things and being in new places. I'm glad to be here and to have fun with my team. Now I would like you to present my experience in the youth exchange. I'm here for 5 days and my point of view is that I like it and I like my team, my teachers, and also I like the I like it. I just like it. It's good. I like it. It's nice. Yes. Okay. Now, Roland, what about you?
What about me? My experience of this exchange are really excited. I thought I don't well in the people, but honestly, I really well to the people. The programmings are really good and excited too. The activities and the guest actor is really good. The Italian sightseeing are really good as well. And the Italy exchange is really worth it.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching and hope that you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.
Ok. Come si interrompe?
Premesso.
Qua.
Hello everyone, buongiorno, dobro utro. We're currently filming this from Sassari, Italy, a really beautiful and sunny place. And today we will tell you exactly why you're a bad person. Who? Excuse me? Me? Me a bad person? You may be asking yourselves. Yeah, you. Right off the bat, I will invite here Lucy, that is with me, an awesome person who will tell us more about our eco-friendly habits of our modern society and why they're wrong.
Basically, all of my friends, the shops in fast fashion shops, like H&M, for example, and yeah.
Really? But why do they do that? Do they consider H&M an eco-friendly company? Do they depot clothing at the store and think it's recycling?
Usually they do. It's surprising because many of my friends consider H&M that they're doing enough for the environment, but actually it's a lie because H&M is a fast fashion company.
What exactly is fast fashion company?
It's clothing trends brought in by high fashion designers, showing that the newest cool way of dressing, and it's I think a lot of people like it because they don't have to worry about the things they want to wear because it leads them away how to dress, and they are also popular because they have low prices.
I see nothing wrong with that. What's the problem then?
First of all, they are responsible for more than 10% of the global CO2 emissions each year. So basically, they are like saying they know by no means eco-friendly, as they state. Brands like H&M, Zara, and Shein, among common other, the largest contributors of clothing waste. That's why that more than 60% of eco-friendly fashion claims consider greenwashing.
So if I get this right, buying from these fast fashion clothing shops is just straight up bad?
Yes, you should definitely avoid buying from them.
Well, you heard the girl. Don't buy from there. From manipulation techniques and lack of transparency, greenwashing is just a huge problem. But I cannot help but ask myself, why aren't we canceling it? Like, why is greenwashing so used by our society and just accepted? Pavel will tell us more about why that is so.
Yeah, social media definitely helps greenwashing expand. I don't know about you, but while I'm scrolling in Instagram, if I find a product that's labeled eco-friendly or natural, I'm just more likely to buy it, thinking I help actually the nature. People really do love and fall for these tricks, just as me. If you don't know, 70% of all green marketing actually cannot show proof of any claims they make. So social media really misleads the audience. Imagine if an influencer like Kim Kardashian with millions of followers makes a post about a product and it's labeled eco-friendly, natural, clean, with best ingredients from the nature. That would make a lot of sales. And yeah, that's just bullshit. But still, in this scenario, imagine the sales. People love to support nature, and big companies just take advantage of that. Peter, have you ever noticed this when you have been scrolling on Instagram?
Spill the tea, boy. But sadly, no. Honestly, I am just as a big victim as you are in this case. Well, so to wrap it up, I got 5 new rules, and as Dua Lipa says, I've got new rules and I count them. First, look out for buzzwords as pure, natural, clean, and visuals. For example, using green or earthy colors, nature photos, or natural elements. That's a big no-no. Don't buy them. 2. Avoid the world's worst corporate plastic polluters like Coca-Cola, Nestle, and so on that are contributing to the climate crisis. 3. Identify if they back up their claims with third-party verified certifications. If they're not, fuck them. Google the company's name and add the word greenwashing and check the results. And finally, message the company publicly and ask them to back up their claim. It's usually a red flag if they ignore you. If they do, just kill them.
Okay, guys, thank you for listening and watching our podcast. I hope you don't get tricked from greenwashing, and see you next time.
Slay.
Bye.